With all the big news dropping yesterday, by the time I finished up making the content and got it all out and started spending time with the girlfriend, and I thought that the day's news was done, turns out it was only getting started. And she, being way too good, allowed me to come in here and do a quick video on the Eric Gilbert situation, but I didn't have the heart to ask about Sam McCall or the Will Johnson situation. So today we're going to be looking at both of those, and I wanted to start off with the Sam McCall situation in this video. Will Johnson will be coming up in the next one, so be sure to subscribe to the channel, that way you don't miss that. But speaking of that, and since we're going to be talking about Sam McCall, I want to hear from y'all. Hop down to the comments and let me know what you're thinking. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised that Florida State landed another 5-star defensive back in Sam McCall? And let me know what you're thinking. Guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, because I do constant college football content, player reviews, film analysis, or general talk style videos like this, and I'm on my push to 5,000 subscribers within my first year of having a channel. But I can't do that alone, and I need y'all, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. And if you did enjoy the video, be sure to like and comment down below, because that stuff goes a long ways in helping content creators like myself. But with all that being said, let's talk about Sam McCall, the nation's number 5 athlete, a 5-star prospect, and the 35th best player in the nation. And Sam McCall is so intriguing because he was looking like a guy that could be going to the University of Alabama. Alabama was pursuing him hard, among others. And yesterday it was announced that he is going to end up playing for the Florida State Seminoles. Now, if you're a Florida State fan, you have got to be over the moon. Your class is shaping up very nicely thus far. It's still very early, and recruiting is a marathon, not a sprint. And what a way to start the marathon. Already having 5-star cornerback Travis Hunter in your class, and then being able to go out and land another 5-star athlete, Florida State is looking very good to start the recruiting period for the class of 2022. So good, in fact, that they were able to land themselves inside of the top 10 with the commitment of McCall. Now, I talked earlier about how Alabama had been in the mix for McCall for quite some time, so where does the Alabama Crimson Tide go from here? If you're Florida State, your defensive back class is shaping up to be as good as anybody in the nations right now, and you have to be excited about that. The Crimson Tide, on the other hand, are still also in a really good position, and it's for 2 reasons in particular. First and foremost, Tide fans, 2 blessings happened last year. One, Terrion Arnold and JaQuincy McKinstry signed into this class amongst the other incredible defensive backs that Alabama pulled in last year's recruiting cycle, but those 2 I believe to be incredibly special guys that will find the field very early on. The second blessing that happened to Alabama last year was the evolution and the superstar rising of Malachi Moore and another guy, Brian Branch, who isn't quite at Malachi Moore's superstar level yet, but I believe he'll be there very quickly once he gets a bigger role within Alabama's defense. If you know, I made a video earlier this year, and my whole thing was, the defense I want to see Alabama run is any defense that allows for Brian Branch and Malachi Moore to be on the field at the same time. Those 2 to me are really, really fun playmakers to watch, and I really look forward to seeing them. But even outside of being able to land 2 incredible recruits last year, and those weren't the only DBs they landed, those are just 2 guys that I find to be very, very special in their talent. Bama is still in the running for a plethora of other 5-star defensive backs in this class. Y'all have to remember, this is easily one of the deepest DB classes we've seen as far as not only the numbers of guys, but the quality of them. I mean, you're talking about a Bryce Anderson who any other year could be a 5-star unanimous, who is still one of the nation's top 4 stars, but that's just how deep we're talking when this DB class is, right? And this class in general, this class is very talented, but the DBs, my goodness me, they are everywhere. And Bama is still very much well in play for a lot of good ones, whether that's at corner or at safety. And McCall is interesting because he could find his way playing either. I personally believe he'll probably be at safety, but he is athletic enough to kind of do either. And Bama is still in prime position for multiple guys to fit either niche. Whether we're talking corner in Denver Harris, who I think Bama is going to be going very, very hard at because his style of play is very indicative of an SEC corner. Texas is going to be going at him hard along with A&M and LSU, and he is a guy we have to watch out for. But even at the safety position, we still have Keon Saub and Kamari Wilson, both guys that Alabama could very realistically get, and both guys who I really like in that Alabama system. So this is a very good year for defensive back, and even outside of that, Tide fans, The Tide was blessed last year with the development of Brian Branch, Malachi Moore, and then being able to sign guys like Terrion Arnold, JaQuincy McKinstry, Kyrie Jackson from the JUCO, a very rangy corner. It's going to be something to watch out for in this class, but we have to keep an eye on Florida State. It's a long process to go, but thus far, the Florida State Seminoles look to be putting together a very deep class, and the state of Florida is very deep in its talent, and we've talked about this with Texas, but when you're able to put together exciting prospects like Florida State is doing right now, it's easier to encourage other top prospects to come and join in because it looks like you have a reasonable chance of being able to be the class that is able to turn it around. That's why I think this Texas class is off to such a hot start, is all these kids are looking at this with the new coaching staff, with the 5-star quarterback, with the recruits they're pulling in, and with all the buzz they're generating. I think recruits are looking at them and saying, we could actually be a part of the class that is known as the class that got Texas back on track, which is very intriguing. And, likewise for a class at Alabama, right? You still have the pitch of you're the class that continues the legacy. So there's different pitches to go around, but Florida State finds themselves able to give a much better pitch having the talent because now they can generate the pitch of we're exciting. Y'all can be the class that really turns this around and puts us back where we should be, which is a proud, respectable program. But I want to hear what y'all are saying because this is a great pickup by the Florida State Seminoles, giving themselves a top 10 class. They have 2 5-star DBs, a 4-star quarterback who finds himself in the top 300, and this is a class that I'm really interested to see how they finish out because the state of Florida is so full of talent, and I really do think that there is something very intriguing to a lot of these high school players that are highly ranked in Texas's pitch and in what Florida State should be pitching now, which is you could be a part of the class that helps turn this thing around, and that's an intriguing pitch. But I want to hear what y'all think. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this commitment and what it will do for Florida State moving forward. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, and like the video. That's it. See ya.